The countdown has begun, and the boxing world is buzzing as the highly anticipated clash between Canelo Alvarez and Terence Crawford draws near. But while fans are hyped for what promises to be a historic showdown, a growing wave of concern is spreading within the boxing community. The spotlight isn't just on skill and strategy. It's on the huge weight and size disparity between these two champions. With so much at stake, experts are already questioning whether Crawford might have bitten off more than he can chew.
When you have two great fighters, great things can happen. But I could see even Crawford getting knocked out like Amir Khan style.
Do you give Terence Crawford any chance to beat Canelo?
I don't see it happening, but he could definitely prove me wrong. But I just think, bro, I've trained with Canelo, I've been around him. Bro can really push back heavyweight. So I don't know how he's because this is the first time Canelo's actually bigger than somebody in a long time. So it's like the weights are lifted off, and now he could fight even more freely, you know? So I'm actually interested to see, bro. I can't wait for the fight. I'm definitely going to be backing Canelo, but, you know, Crawford is a great fighter, and he could surprise me. But right now, where I would put my money is Canelo Alvarez.
Canelo Alvarez, widely regarded as one of the most powerful punchers in the sport, is entering the ring as the undisputed super middleweight champion. Naturally bigger and stronger at 168 pounds, he has dominated opponents in higher weight divisions and proven himself against some of boxing's elite. On the other hand, Terence Crawford is making an ambitious leap up in weight, having spent the bulk of his career at 147 pounds. While his skill and ring IQ are undeniable, many wonder if this rapid jump to face a fighter as dangerous as Canelo is a risk that could backfire.
But Marjamov did give Crawford problems. I favor Canelo, not by a lot, but I do favor him. I just think that, I think the skull fight was just a bad style. And I think Canelo was like, why force the issue? You know what I mean? I'm up. This guy's running. I'm not gonna take a chance. So I think that it was that kind of fight for Canelo. But Marjamov did give Crawford problems. You know what I'm saying? And where I felt like, damn, at 54, he gave you problems. 68 is different.
Renowned trainer Abel Sanchez, known for his work with Gennady Golovkin, has openly voiced concerns about Crawford's sudden weight gain. Sanchez explained that fighters like Canelo, who gradually build up weight over years, naturally adapt to the added bulk and strength. Crawford, however, is attempting to make that same transition in just 14 to 15 months, a timeline Sanchez believes is dangerously short. He warns that this approach could leave Crawford slower, less agile, and unable to execute his usual slick style when he faces the Mexican superstar under the bright lights.
Terence Crawford is a great fighter, but that's why we have weight divisions. I think that Canelo has proven as he has risen in the weights, he's dealt with the best in his weight divisions that he's at now. He fought Bivol, and Bivol couldn't hurt him. He fought my guy, and my guy couldn't hurt him in 2 fights. The third fight I wouldn't even count as a fight. But to have a guy come up from 140 pounds in such a short period of time, I'm not saying he couldn't have done it. If he'd have taken 3 or 4 years like Canelo did and built up not only his strength but his bulk in the correct way, he would have had a better chance. But to do it in these 14, 15 months that he's done it in, it's going to be difficult for him. I think that it's a tough fight at the first 3 or 4 rounds because of his speed, just like when we took Golovkin to fight Kell Brook. Kell Brook, being a welterweight, was a little faster, quicker at the beginning. But once Canelo assimilates the speed and assimilates the movement, and Crawford's going to be a lot slower because of the weight also. Once he does that, I think it'll be a sparring session for Canelo.
Sanchez went even further, questioning whether the added pounds will truly help Crawford at all. According to him, extra weight doesn't automatically mean extra power. In fact, Sanchez fears it could have the opposite effect, making Crawford heavier on his feet and easier for Canelo to trap and punish. with reports suggesting that Crawford could enter the fight weighing anywhere between 180 and 190 pounds. Sanchez insists that the ideal fighting weight for him would have been closer to 160 pounds. Anything above that, he warns, risks neutralizing Crawford's greatest weapons: speed, movement, and precision.
I think it's a ridiculous fight myself. I think that Crawford is too small. Canelo is, in my opinion, the face of boxing right now. I think that look at his resume. I think it's a good fight for a little while. Crawford's hand speed will, just like when Golovkin fought Kell Brook, the hand speed was evident at the beginning of the fight. But as the fight goes on, Canelo's going to start pounding on him, and I think that the fight ends somewhere between the 9th and 12th round.
You really think because of the size difference, he can stop Crawford?
Well, absolutely. I think that anything Canelo hits him with is going to hurt him. He won't be able to catch him early because, like I said, the speed and the foot speed and the hand speed. And Crawford's a heck of a fighter at his own weight. 54, when he fought Madrimov in his last fight, showed us that he can't really, the weight makes a difference. I don't care how much weight he gains and how much he does to try to get up to that level, 168, is going to make a difference.
Echoing Sanchez's concerns, former world champion Shawn Porter has also raised doubts about Crawford's ability to absorb Canelo's power. Porter, who knows firsthand what it feels like to take elite-level shots, believes that Canelo's strength, proven even at light heavyweight, presents an entirely new challenge for Crawford. While Crawford has shown incredible toughness throughout his career, Porter fears that Canelo's punches could be unlike anything the Omaha native has ever experienced. Over 12 grueling rounds, surviving that kind of firepower could become Crawford's toughest battle yet.
First thing at this level is not the physical, it's the mental and the spirit. He's got all of that. He's gonna have power at 168 pounds. He's gonna have the precision, and those are essential, especially for a Mexican guy coming forward. You know, we've never seen Canelo go down. I'm not gonna dive into how I think Terence might pull it off. I think it's too early for it now. I'll get into that eventually on the Puerto Rico podcast. But I do think that Terence is going to pull it off.
British fighter John Ryder, who went toe-to-toe with Canelo in a losing effort, has offered his own advice to the Mexican champion. Ryder believes that Canelo's best strategy is to close the distance and limit Crawford's movement inside the ring. According to him, Crawford thrives when he has space to dictate the pace with his speed, footwork, and long-range counters. By cutting off the ring, applying constant pressure, and denying Crawford room to operate, Canelo can take away one of his opponent's biggest advantages, forcing Crawford into uncomfortable exchanges up close.
You faced Canelo. If you could give some pointers to Crawford, what should he do to come out victorious in September?
I think you just got to watch the Bivol blueprint, the in and out. I mean, a lot of fighters getting stick now for being runners, Tom and Jerry and whatnot. But stick to what you're good at. Terence Crawford is an exceptional talent. He's won titles through the weights, undisputed at, 3 weights now. And listen, if anyone can do it, it's him. I think the weight will be too much of an issue. Canelo is a special talent. And I think the weight will play a factor in the fight. But listen, Canelo once done it and made the step up to super middleweight. I would like Crawford to be more at light middle and middle to build into it, but you take these opportunities when they come, and that's what greatness is.
Even legends like Sugar Ray Leonard have weighed in on the matchup, drawing from their own experiences. Leonard reflected on his jump to light heavyweight to face Donnie Lalonde, recalling how even though he won, the power difference was undeniable. Leonard believes Crawford faces a similar challenge. If he can handle Canelo's shots, he has a chance. But if not, it could be a short night. This fight, Leonard says, isn't just about skill. It's about whether Crawford's body can withstand the punishment that comes with fighting a naturally bigger, stronger opponent.
You know, what about Crawford do you think can bridge the weight gap? Or like with you, what did bridge the weight gap? Because a lot of people are just saying, hey, Canelo's just too big for someone like Terence.
That's true. But you know what? There's always a way. Put it that there's always a way. There's always a way to win.
Boxing icon Roberto Duran offered a different perspective, emphasizing that Crawford's key to victory lies in versatility. Duran believes Crawford must constantly mix up his tactics, switching between brawling and technical boxing to keep Canelo guessing and off balance. If Crawford becomes predictable, Duran warns, Canelo will find his rhythm and take control. On the flip side, rising star Omari Jones, who has sparred with Crawford, believes the added weight won't slow him down. Jones insists that Crawford's mental toughness, adaptability, and competitive spirit make him fully capable of going toe-to-toe with the Mexican powerhouse.
¿Qué tiene que hacer Crawford para ganar la pelea contra Canelo subiendo de peso, como tú subiste de peso muchas veces?
Es una pelea muy dura, pero depende de cómo venga el hombre. Tiene que voltear y bajarse, confundirlo. Te paga, tú dale y él piensa que tú te vas a pagar y le boxea. El otro asalto, él piensa que tú le vas a boxear y te le paga, entonces lo tiene confundido y así que se le puede ganar Canelo.
Hall of Famer Oscar De La Hoya has also added his voice to the debate, praising Crawford's extraordinary skill, but cautioning against underestimating Canelo's power. De La Hoya highlighted that Crawford has been hurt before, and by smaller opponents. If Canelo connects cleanly, De La Hoya warns it could be difficult for Crawford to recover. This potential mismatch in raw strength, he believes, might be the biggest factor deciding the outcome of this fight.
There is a big fight coming up next, that being Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez. That's actually next month. Who do you have? Who do you have winning this fight?
I'm going with Crawford.
Why is that?
I just feel like Crawford, he just has the grit, and like me personally meeting Crawford several times, it's like the man is just so competitive. It's like I don't even have to say nothing to him. He'll just like, man, when we sparring, it's like his competitiveness is always gonna put him over the edge, and then he just has that like, I'm not gonna let you bully me, or his skill set. And it, I know they talk about Charlo when Charlo moved up, but I feel like it may be a little bit different for Canelo this time around, because Crawford took the moving up in weight classes serious. He did the dieting, he did the training. So I feel like when you put in work like that, it's a win-win.
So you don't think Crawford, gaining that weight, because I saw him, he's pretty big. You don't think that's going to be a disadvantage for him in this fight?
No, it looked like he put it on the right way. The nutrition, the like I said, the training. Crawford, he trains hard. So I feel like, I know they say he probably went up to like 185, so he has to lose that weight. But I think if he did it the right way, which I know he did, he'll be successful.
That said, De La Hoya also acknowledged Crawford's exceptional ring IQ and his ability to outthink and outmaneuver opponents. If Crawford can rely on his agility, frustrate Canelo with movement, and force him to miss, the fight could become far more competitive than many expect. However, De La Hoya maintains that avoiding Canelo's power shots will be the single greatest challenge Crawford faces. If he fails to do so, the night could quickly spiral into danger.
Obviously, he has a big fight against Terence Crawford, who's coming up in weight. But I keep telling people that Canelo is small for 168. It's not like he's a big 168 pounder. So the size difference isn't that much, in my opinion, right? I mean, I know he's been there longer, right? But Bud is slightly taller than him, longer arms than him. Do you feel that Terence has a shot in beating Canelo Alvarez?
That's the million-dollar question, because I'm a historian. I love boxing. I love watching it. I love studying it. I know it inside out. When I watched Terence Crawford get rattled and rocked by Yorkis Gamboa, who's a natural 30-pounder, that to me is going to be a huge problem when he gets hit by Canelo, who's a natural, super middleweight, maybe?
But that was so
not that high.
But he fought at what, 190? Canelo?
175.
175? 175? Okay.
Yeah.
So he fights at 175. He's fighting these big monsters.
Yeah.
He's not getting rattled at all.
Nah.
Berlanga's a big kid.
Yeah.
So it makes me think, I mean, how is Crawford going to keep him away for 12 rounds? Canelo's going to come.
Finally, boxing legend Roy Jones Jr. delivered a thoughtful analysis of the matchup, echoing many of the same concerns. Jones believes Crawford's best chance lies in surviving the early rounds, where Canelo will look to impose his power immediately. If Crawford can make Canelo miss, stay mobile, and rely on his elite boxing skills, Jones thinks he has a path to victory on the scorecards. But if Canelo lands clean, heavy shots early, Jones warns, Crawford could find himself in deep trouble before the halfway mark.
But then again, I think about Crawford's abilities and his IQ and his footwork, which Canelo cannot handle. And we know that for a fact. It happened with Bivol, it happened with Mayweather, who schooled him left and right with no problem, and Canelo was way stronger than Mayweather. So there's
Don't you think Canelo's a better fighter than he was then? Today?
A better fight? Yeah, a little better. Yeah, his footwork is still the same. He's flat-footed. He's very heavy on his feet. But you saw his last fight with Skull. Mm-hmm. He couldn't touch Skull. I mean, he was a runner. He was a Cuban runner, but he couldn't touch Skull. It was incredible. It was amazing. It was just like the fight with Lara. He couldn't touch Lara. So there's a reason why fighters think that if they move a little against Canelo, they have boxing abilities against Canelo, they might beat him. And I'm pretty sure Crawford is thinking, well,
Terence is a different type of fighter. He's not just a mover. He's going to mix it up.
Oh, yeah.
And to his credit, that was early in his career. Maybe 135 wasn't a good weight. Maybe he could absorb more punches because he's been hit. He was hit by Majmorph. He was hit by Spence. He didn't get hurt then. So maybe he has a tougher chin.
And not just that, Gamboa was the fastest guy alive. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he didn't see that shot. But Canelo got hit by Matthew Hatton, and he got rocked, but he was 19. So as they've gotten older, no one's really been able to. Yeah, but he didn't wobble them. So no one's really been able to hurt neither one of them recently.
Yeah.
So, but I think obviously Canelo has the power to hurt anyone. You know,
yeah, I mean, power's a lot. In this game, means a lot. If you can't keep your...
Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Not going to always win them, but he always tries to give them to us. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much.
As fight night approaches, the anticipation is at an all-time high. Fans are eager to see whether Terence Crawford can defy the odds and capture an unprecedented third undisputed title across 3 weight divisions. To do so, he'll need to adjust seamlessly to the added weight, withstand Canelo's power, and execute a flawless game plan under extreme pressure. One thing is certain, this fight isn't just a test of skill. It's a test of endurance, strategy, and heart. Whether we witness Crawford's crowning moment or Canelo's continued reign, this bout is shaping up to be one of boxing's most thrilling showdowns in years.